There are many reasons why science is awesome. It can explain how the universe began and help us travel through it. It can also answer all of life's questions. But sometimes science can do something else. Sometimes it can send your mind drifting, wandering down a path of endless possibilities. And one of the most tantalizing what-ifs involves an extra moon, a second celestial body orbiting our home planet and hanging out next to our trusty Luna. So today, let's get geeky and explore the fascinating science behind what would happen if the night sky had not one but two bright beacons. We may never know exactly how many planets are wandering the universe, but we have a pretty good idea of how common rocky worlds are. And if planets are relatively common, then so are their large natural satellites. In fact, there are plenty of systems out there that already have more than one moon. So here's the question we've been dying to ask. What if Earth had two moons? Now when we look up at the night sky, we see our moon in all its glory, a luminous rock that whiles away the ends by reflecting the sun's rays. About 94% of the light we see from the moon comes from the sun, making it a handy nighttime navigational tool that has helped humans and animals alike migrate safely across continents. This is thanks to the moon's reflective ability, which is called albedo. The moon itself emits some light, but it's faint and difficult to detect because its surface temperature is so low. Most of the reflected light we see comes from the nearly full half of the moon that faces us, where billions of kilometers of dust and rocks are baking in the sun. Now, our moon is fairly small compared to Earth, about 1/8 the mass of our planet. If it were any bigger, it would start pulling Earth around like a celestial dog on a leash. In other words, it would start dominating the tides, wreaking havoc and maybe even causing volcanic eruptions, all of which are good reasons to be grateful that our moon is only so medium. But if we had two moons, would this delicate balance still hold? Well, it all depends on the moons. Two moons could mean twice the trouble or just a whole new set of variables. Take size, for instance. How big would the second moon have to be to start having noticeable effects? Our moon's gravitational tug is felt most strongly near its poles, where land masses bulge out just a bit. So if the second moon were close enough to us, we'd notice bulges at Earth's poles that were twice as tall as our beloved Himalayas. But what if the second moon were smaller? Having two smaller moons might be comparable to having one medium moon. On the other hand, if the second moon were farther away, it might not have much of an impact at all. We'd probably just see a tiny point of reflected light in the sky and wonder if the ancient myths about Earth's dark sister moon were actually true. Now, there's another way to change the game too. Instead of swapping one moon for another, we could keep the same sized moon and just tweak its orbit. As the moon makes its tiny little loop around Earth every 27 days, it causes tides, helping water sloshed on our planet slosh back and forth. But depending on how close it gets to Earth, these bulges of water can rise almost 10 meters high. And while the gravitational pull of the moon isn't strong enough to pull the Earth into a frenzy, it does make our planet rotate a little faster. So if the second moon had a completely different orbital path, say it came closer to Earth's surface, we'd need to rewrite the book on tides. Not only would the tides themselves become more extreme, we'd have more of them. As the second moon made its orbit, we'd see the sea level rise and fall 3 or 4 times a year, twice as often as now. Plus, there would be more than one high tide and one low tide a day instead of just one of each. But it wouldn't stop there. Everything from the Gulf Stream to El Niño would feel the effects of the double moon madness. Ocean currents that depend on the moon's gravitational pull would be thrown into chaos. Marine life that uses lunar cycles to time migrations or spawning would need to adjust or go extinct. Even the plants along coastlines would have to shift to keep up with the radical new tides. We might even see an increase in tsunamis as the shifting tides interact in weird ways, and the moon's influence goes deeper than just the oceans. Its gravity is believed to affect the Earth's core and mantle, contributing to seismic activity. If a second moon were to enter the picture, the Earth's rotation, its wobbly tilt, and even the frequency of earthquakes might change. If we lived on a double moon planet, the climate would change too. Less hospitable climates would lead to the extinction of plants and animals that couldn't adapt quickly enough, opening up habitats for new species or leaving them empty. Over millions of years, the changes in light and temperature associated with a second moon could drive major evolutionary shifts and potentially spark the emergence of intelligent life. If we find ourselves on a planet with two moons, we better hope that we're part of the species that evolves to survive this drastic change. If humanity found itself on a double moon Earth, we'd face challenges, but we'd also have opportunities. Take light pollution, for instance. With two moons, we'd have double the illumination at night. This could allow nocturnal creatures like bats and owls to roam further and hunt more efficiently. And since humans love emulating nature, maybe we'd design buildings and furniture to take advantage of the brighter lights. Or consider farming. Many cultures have myths about a second moon, like the biblical instruction to build an ark under the light of a wandering star. Maybe in a world with two moons, we'd grow crops differently to account for the different cycles. Or maybe a double moon would inspire us to invent brand new mythologies. In fact, it might even shape our religion, our art, our literature, and our music, just as the moon has inspired countless sonnets and lullabies on our one moon Earth. And then there's the sleep cycle. Humans and many animals use moonlight to keep our biological clocks in sync. Having two moons could throw off our internal rhythms and force us to rethink our routines, our jobs, and maybe even our social lives. Of course, a double moon would change how we navigate, too. Our entire cartographic understanding of the world would need updating, especially with two moons in the sky. Some places might experience more eclipses, while others might have to contend with two different sets of tidal charts. And who knows what strange gravitational interactions might cause some unexpected shifts in the constellations. Of course, this is all just speculation. But it's grounded in the fact that Earth's moon plays a role in our planet's history and the course of our lives. For example, scientists believe that without the moon, Earth would have been a hellish hothouse early in its formation. The moon helped keep temperatures moderate, allowing life to emerge and flourish. So our existence is literally indebted to our rocky satellite. And yet, despite its importance, we take the moon for granted. We expect it to be there every night, dutifully guiding our nocturnal wanderers and keeping our tides predictable. But the truth is that our moon is a product of an incredible series of events. It formed after a Mars-sized planet slammed into Earth billions of years ago. And it's only there because the debris from that cataclysmic collision coalesced just right. So when we think about what it would be like to live on a double moon Earth, we're also thinking about how delicate our current situation really is. Every aspect of our planetary system, from the tilt of Earth's axis to the moon's exact distance from us, is finely tuned to allow life to thrive. And maybe that's the most important lesson we can learn from a wild hypothetical. Our familiar single moon Earth is a rare and beautiful thing. Thanks for watching this episode. If you want to help us make even more fascinating science videos, you can join our community by hitting that like and subscribe button down below. Keep looking up.